everyone, and welcome to Advanced Gold's live event. Today, I'm joined with their CEO, Jim Atkinson, who will be introducing us to Dr. Andrew Ramcharan, the newly appointed president of Advanced Gold, and Randolph Danilovsky, newly appointed CFO. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. I'm going to let Jim lead this conversation. I just wanted to remind the audience that you can ask questions at any point in the chat in the bottom right corner of your screen, and that this event is being recorded and you can watch on YouTube in the coming days. But Jim, I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to introduce our audience to our new president, Dr. Andrew Ramcharan, and our new CFO, Radovan Danilovsky. We call him Rado. Anyway, their CVs can be viewed on our presentation. But briefly, just a little bit, Andrew is very experienced in technical and financial aspects of the junior mining space and has been involved in developments of projects from discovery to production, including with majors and with juniors, including Kinross, and the latest one was Roscan in Africa. Rado is the CEO of another junior, has a lot of experience in financial controls and governance issues. We will be moving our office to his office, our address, and that'll help us reduce costs and also ensure that mail gets dealt with on a timely basis. Right now, our mail goes to another place, and unless somebody is around to actually pick it up, things sometimes get delayed. So I'd just like to share how I first met Andrew and Rado. And let me just say I'm excited to have both of these guys joining us, joining our group. Andrew and I first met actually on a modeling, let's call it a modeling project, on a project that we had in our company called Talisker Gold, which was a private company, which was sort of the precursor of advanced gold exploration. And we were working together on a project in Northern Ontario, and it had a small resource. And we knew there was some gold there. So what we wanted to do was actually model to see if there was any sort of concentration of higher grade gold shoots. And Andrew's work really turned that up and showed very well that there was some higher grade gold shoots. We think that was very instrumental in helping us sell that project to another company who took it over. They paid us in cash and shares, which we distributed to our shareholders. So for us, that was very helpful. And that's sort of when we first met. That was in 2019. And we've sort of been, working together a little bit off and on since then, keeping in contact or whatever. I've known Rado for quite a long time through mutual friends and acquaintances and other sort of contacts, and through recommendations from associates. He's the CEO of another junior. So, like I said, has very good experience in the whole junior mining thing and in governance. He also has quite a lot of experience in sort of the legal aspects of being being a junior mining company. And so that's kind of how I met them. I've known them for a long time. I sort of always wanted to be working with them, and this is a great opportunity for us to happen. So let's just get some comments from them guys. So Andrew, looking into AUX's future, what are you looking forward to with the company? And also maybe just tell us a little bit why you think it's worthwhile to spend your time working with us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jim. And thank you, Kyle, for having us on this live show here. So as we know, gold price is on a run of the recent, and all fundamentals lead and telling us that we should be on a bull run and for a long time. And for me, some of the key fundamentals in driving value in any company, it's the team, the project, and a lot to deal with the geographic location. And as Jim mentioned, we've worked together in the past, I think maybe 2016, 2017 time. And it was indeed an honor and privilege to work with Jim. Jim brings a wealth of knowledge and experience on the geological side. and has very sharp eyes for identifying good projects from a very early stage. And coupled with my background and Radovan's background, I think collectively as a team, which is one of the key fundamental parameter in my belief that is a driver for any company, could create a lot of value in a very short time. So Jim has identified a few good projects in Canada and one in the US. And the key for me, it's the projects in Ontario. It's in safe jurisdiction because as you see what's happening around the world, you know, countries are expropriating assets. I guess you just see what happened in Panama with First Quantum, and they've invested a significant amount of money, and basically they, was requested by the government to stop mining for whatever reason. So I think being in a safe jurisdiction and having good assets. So, for example, one of the asset they were showing an hits of over 46 grams, and these grades just does not appear. It has to come from somewhere. So, I can chat for a long time, but in summary, I think the key things is that, I've worked with Jim. There's good trust, good working relationship. We get along pretty well together. And with my background and his background and Radovan's background, I think we complement each other. And, we now in the process of getting this off the ground. So, we have a few things in the pipeline that we're going to be working on immediately and expect to have some news flow once we have things going, because we are a team that, you know, Jim is great in the field. He can find great assets. I know on the capital market side, I know some of the technical and business side. Radovan knows all the filings and stuff like that. So all together, I think, we are in for a good run, especially with the gold price where it is as of today. So that's it from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Rado, maybe some comments from you as to why you why you think this is something that you can spend your time at.
Well, I believe there are plenty of opportunities to cut costs at the company and basically make everything run a lot leaner. This is where I come in with my experience in management. I've previously worked in both on the sell side and the buy side, so as an investment analyst and a portfolio manager, as well as a president of another related company. I believe Advanced Gold is in very good position as far as its portfolio. It has a very strong portfolio of primary projects and secondary projects as well, and it just needs a little tweaking, and we are off to a good start.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Yeah, that's good points. I think I just want to reiterate what Andrew said about a good team, and I think we're putting together a great team here on the management side. We've also been able to kind of engage, I suppose, a couple technical people on the geological side, and I think we're going to have some great success. Just one other thing, just maybe a little more detail, Rado and Andrew, on although Rado kind of touched on it a little bit, how you see your positions really having an impact on the company going forward. Rado, you mentioned cost cutting and governance. Talk a little bit more about that, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. Well, the whole idea is the less money one spends on various services, it goes more into ground, and that's the important thing, spend money on the project. Now, anything that we do with, let's say, Canada Revenue Agency or Ontario Securities Commission and so on. It has big impact on bottom line. There are things that one can do with tax filings that brings us a more streamlined influx of money for day-to-day operations, not just so we are not dependent on raising money every 5 minutes on the market and so on. So
And do you see some help on the legal, cutting down on legal costs as well?
big time, big time. It has been quite a norm in the industry that people have been using law firms to do fairly minor things, from filings to news release drafting, which I think that could be done easily in-house, and I've done that before with my previous companies and so on. So that is also obviously that requires some knowledge that people do not make mistakes, and understanding
Right.
corporate law, understanding um, basically all the national instruments that are dictating continuous disclosure and such.
Andrew, how do you see you have a lot of contacts, a lot of people. How do you see that helping us?
Yes. So I think with what's happening generally speaking, I think a lot of gold projects in and around the neighborhood where we are currently located, with Cote just be coming on stream into production in this month actually, and with commodity prices on the run, I think generally speaking, people are going to be reaching out because, as you know, the industry is very reactive. When gold goes up, everybody goes into gold. If uranium goes up, everybody goes into uranium. If lithium goes up, everybody goes to lithium. So with my current network, everybody's always looking to deal or to put money here or might have a shell there. So I think this is something we can leverage off of my current network, and getting things off the ground, moving forward and getting the word out on the street, making people aware of what we have, the potential backing of getting some solid investors on board that can, back each program that we consider for financing for drilling and exploration work. So if we have a few solid retail guys and institutional investors on board to basically back us and give us the reins to, you know, explore the projects and, realize the true value of the assets so that shareholders can see what we're doing, that would be great. So I do have a wide network of, people that I know from multiple facets, including the US, Europe, and North America. So I think, we can be tapping on doors, once we have everything intact and all prepared and set. We're currently working on a exploration program and basically to identify the opportunities and potential of these properties. And additionally, we're going to be always open to listen for any alternatives. So all in all, I think from a background standpoint in terms of network, we can talk to companies, whether it's exploration companies, producing companies, bankers, analysts, retail guys, institutional guys. So this is something we could leverage off of and take advantage to have some inputs into advanced goal to create value within a short period of time, because we want to work towards having something whereby we can capture the market. So I think this is something that we need to work on in a short period of time.
There's somebody calling to give you money already there,
I
Andrews.
know, eh?
I just want to talk a little bit about that too. One of the things that that we'll be looking at, as most people remember, is we're going to be looking at doing something with our copper property. We have, as everyone knows, a good copper property. It has some high grade copper intersections. We have a multitude of anomalies on that property that need to be worked up. And along with gold going up, of course, copper is also going up in price. People have been talking now for several years about that the shortfall of copper and how copper is going to be so important in the in the greening of the world. And now the price of copper is finally reacting, and I think there's going to be opportunities there. So again, Andrew's contacts and knowledge and in the business will help us hopefully find a partner, joint venture partner, or partner, or even a sale for our copper property, and allow us to focus even more on our gold properties. The other aspect of having help on these side of things is that this actually allows us on the technical side to spend a little more time on the technical aspects of what we're doing. And as Andrew mentioned, we're putting together a detailed work plan so that when we go talk to investors, we'll be able to say, this is exactly how we plan to spend the money. This is exactly what we expect to find. And, what will that mean, hopefully, for the share price? And those are things that we're working on right now. Just the other thing maybe we should talk a little bit about is, what we see in the future. We have, as Andrew said, and Rado, we have a good series of opportunities in the projects that we have. I anticipate, which will happen is some of them will turn out to be good and some of them will turn out to be perhaps not so interesting. But we do have a great network of contacts between Andrew and myself that, that will be offering and have been offering us good opportunities as well. But I think that's something in the future which we'll also all be working on. I'm just anyway, as I think you can see that we're going to have that these two additions are going to help the company and add some impact to the company. One thing that I want to say is that I'm very happy to be working with Andrew and Radovan. I think there's going to be great opportunities there for us to, as a team, do some great things. I guess in conclusion, I think we have a great team now, and I think we got a long ways to go. I think that's one of the things that I think will be positive for the future. I don't know if anyone has any questions specifically, or Kyle, if you can think of anything else we should talk about.
No, for the discussion at hand, I think you asked all the pertinent questions, and I don't see anyone in the audience asking any questions. So I think we'll leave it off on a strong note. You provided the short-term callus and what to look forward to as well. So if you have any final commentary, but I think you already did a great job at that. And if for anyone that came in a little late, just know that this is being recorded and will be available probably within the day on YouTube. So just keep an eye out for that. But I think you summarized it well enough, Jim. I'll leave it to you for any closing remarks, or Andrew or Rallo.
Either of you guys have anything you want to say more?
Yeah, I'll just close it off. I just want to say thank you very much, Carl, for hosting. And, we looking forward for some short-term and long-term catalysts. So just keep an eye out and follow the story.
I just wanted to mention one other thing. Of course, Andrew will be working very closely with Six and with Rado going forward on the marketing and IR. And the other thing is, I guess I'll just drop a little hint, but look forward to, in the next little while, a video of my site visit to our property down in South Carolina, which was very interesting, not only from the point of view of geology, which I love, but just to have the videographer kind of trailing you around in the bush was kind of fun as well. Just a very quick story. I wasn't very clear on telling him that we were going to be crashing around in the bush, and he showed up in hush puppies. But he was a sport, and he followed us around for most of the morning. So just look forward to that.
Now, Jim, we do this is a live event for a reason to address these questions. So we better. There was one question here before we close off.
Sure.
You got a lot of irons in the fire. What is your number one priority in the short term?
Well, I have two actually. I think in the short term, our number 1 and 2 priority, which call it 1A, 1B, would be to get drilling going at our Doyle property, our Hemlo lookalike, and at Melba, our gold property in the Kirkland Lake area. I think that would be my real immediate priority properties.
Perfect. Thank you. Just wanted to address that before we sign off here.
Sure.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate the update. And Andrew and Rado, it's just nice to meet you, and we'll be seeing you more frequently by the sounds of it. So
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Cheers.